Welcome back to Streamline Investigations, people. I hope everyone's having a good morning. So we go on to the private messages on the Gus Lamont case. Someone says, as the second search resumed, Daily Mail made an eerie discovery just 400 metres from his grandparents Shannon and Josie's house. A meticulously maintained grave is partially hidden among a stand of scrub behind a fence with a cross-shaped headstone revealing a baby boy had been previously perished in the area. Source of information on grave on property Howard Jones is connected to Shannon's mother's side of the family. And it goes on to say on the grave, John Inglis Jack Smollercombe, birth date 21st October 1916, Oracle District Council of Orroroo, Carrollton, South Australia. Death 14th July 1917, age 8 months. Grampus Outback Communities Authorities, South Australia. Burial, Oak Park Station, Grampus Outback Communities Authorities, South Australia. Show map. And there's also some information on Find a Grave, which I'll read this out if anyone wants to check it out. It is https://www.findagrave.com. But I'll put that up in the community messages so people can see that. And it goes on to say, fulfill Voto's request for John Inglis, Jack Smollercombe. Voto, quickly see who is the memorial it is for and when they lived and died and where. It's very, very interesting. That is definitely a very, very interesting source there. And any information is a bonus. And obviously there is the information there. And if anyone wants to take the Find a Grave and the address as well there, John Inglis, online address, I say John Inglis, Jack Smollercombe, 1916-1917. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what this is, what's going to come out of this? Let me know, people, what you think. And like I said, we move on to more private messages. Thank you. So we move on. So thank you for this private messenger who had done an AI image, a photo of Gus to make him look older. This is what Gus would look like at 10 years old. Wow, but you know, the eyes obviously would definitely be the same, and that hair as well. And that bizarre video that the photo of Gus with the glasses on at school, you know, I'm pretty sure, I'm not, you know, I could never be 100%, but like I said, I did not look like him when he was older. And look at that. If you look at the sort of video I done on the pictures of someone older, which looked, you know, an older version of Gus, that's very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And don't think this is just an AI image, but like I said, I gotta admit, that looks, you know, more like a girl than anything else, but we don't know what is, if he's still alive, we don't know what his hair is like now. It could be probably longer and he could be much older, but we haven't got much to go on. And obviously the private messenger, and this is what Gus would look like at age 12. Once again, thank you very much for that and the input. So the private messenger goes on to say, we're going to move on to another point, people. Please share it with all. Take note of the comment written by James Tiver and the date. I know we've all seen the picture, but read comment written by James Tiver and take note of the date. James Tiver says that Shannon Pfeiffer's father and that chair holding Jess. James's post, Yunter, Manor Hill, O'Leary Cockburn photo, joined James Tiver, June 29, 2025. See Shannon Pfeiffer, her dad pictured below. She owns the Grampus block mentioned before. It is a rare freehold block. Interesting stuff. So that is there to read, people. Yunta, Manahill, O'Leary, Cockburn. Photos. Shan Pfeiffer, her dad pictured below. She owns the Grampus block mentioned before. It is a rare freehold block. Interesting stuff. So that information is there for people to see. Once again, thank you for that information. We move on to Shannon went to PGC/Seymour boarding school. And is it possible that Jess went to the same boarding school and Gus was also about to start school there? Just a theory. Heather Laycock said, I was at boarding school with Shannon in the 60s. What boarding school was that? PGC Seymour reply. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. Like I said, there seems to be a lot of movement on Facebook and different chat sites as well about this. Very interesting indeed. Thank you for that as well, because like I said, please document this, people, because we don't know whether it'll come in handy sort of near the time we sort of find out what happened to Gus. Any knowledge of the family and going back is important, I think. We move on. The private messages also said this. ABN Looker, Australian Government, Australian Business Register. Historical details for ABN 43026240864. Entity names, Shannon C. and Josie Murray, the trustee for Vincent Rupert Pfeiffer Estate, and Shannon C. and Robert J. Murray. Vincent R. Pfeiffer and Shannon C. and Robert Murray. Vincent R. Pfeiffer and Shannon C. and Robert J. Murray. Oak Park proprietors, R.J. Murray and S.J. Murray and V.R. Pfeiffer. Vincent R. Pfeiffer and Shannon C. and Robert Murray. Active ABN status. Other partnerships, goods and services, tax, GST, main business location. And there you go. Trading name, ABR stock collecting and updating trading name in May 2012. Business now register their business on the National Business Name Register or visit the ASIC website. Trade name, Oak Park Proprietors, Oak Park Proprietors. There you go, people. So there's some information, historical information there, and dates as well. And I think it's just good to have these put away somewhere in a file, keep them safe, people, because we don't know when things are going to come in handy there. So thank you for that historical details. So we move on, people, to some of the private messages. So I played golf with Dingy Dudley, Frank Mack, Hats, McLeod, Merv Harden, etc. All great men, and the young guys, which are the old men stories. I will tell Chris he will remember things like that. Eerie, because it's close to Oak Park. Don't forget the 2-year-old girl missing from Vicary's Hut. Only 5 known that they were all owed. You better tell your younger relatives. That's really strange, isn't it? And that was only like 13 weeks ago. Very, very odd indeed. Let me know your thoughts on that, people. But what I'll do, some of these pictures I will put in the community messages so people can see them as well. Thank you for that. Here we have a picture of Claire Tiver, Vin, and Claire Pfeiffer in 1969. So we know that the Tiver and the Pfeiffer, there's a massive connection there, and it just goes, it seems to go back years through them living in the same area and probably, you know, having farmland and just being friends and some kind of family connection there as well. But this is really, really interesting stuff. And like I said, some of these pictures I will put up, people, but thank you for the private message you sent these in. It's just some information, and it goes on to say, Glen Dambo Yunta and Roxby Downs are locations in South Australia outback connected by the Stewart Highway. Glen Dambo is a service town on the main route. North Roxby Down is known for the large Olympic dam mine, and Yunta is a smaller town with roadhouse and amenities, all part of the vast remote finders ranges and outback region, offering glimpses into the outback life and mining. Thank you very much for that, Streamliner, who sent that across to us, because like I said, any bit of knowledge in this case is very, very important. I will put some of these pictures up basically so people can see them in the community messages as well, and pictures. Thank you very much indeed. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Investigations. A lot more to come, people, on this case today. Thank you.